Hi, this is part 2 of a series of videos on me replacing this off-centre dipole with a model I've built myself using a 4:1 transformer and a 1:1 choke balun. If you haven't seen part 1, then please click on the link above, and don't worry, at the end of that video there's a link to come back to this one so you don't miss out. Hope you enjoy. So the dipole is tethered at one end by passing a rope over the roof. So the end of the dipole is just at the base of that collinear mast, and the rope goes over the roof. The coax drops down the side of the house into that 1:1 choke and along to the shack there. And from the roof, that's the short end. The long end comes across to a tree, and I've got a tensioning rope that comes down, and there's the tensioning rope dropping down, and there's the weighted bucket of sand. So as the tree moves, that bucket can bob up and down, and also there's some sag in the dipole that the tree can take up the slack of. Around the front you can see the rope coming down the roof and just tying off at the gutter. So these are the basic ingredients for the antenna. We've got the finished centerpiece with the 4:1 transformer and the 1:1 balun, 2 dog bones, and some DX Commander Kevlar wire. So ready to start. So that's one end slackened off. So here you see the two side by side. This is the commercial unit. It worked well for 3 years, but like I say, on 40 it struggles a bit with 200 watts. It's supposed to take the UK legal limit of 400 watts, but you can see there's no way the 240 ferrites are inside there. They must be the smaller ferrites stacked, I'm assuming, to make the two together. So that should be better than that. And you can see 3 years up in the air, it's all holding up well. And if you've sealed your plugs properly, this is what they look like 3 years later. And inside you can see how the wraps of self-amalgamating tape merge to form one seal, and this is what the plugs look like, nice and clean. So for this 40 metre band off-centre fed dipole, I'm going for the traditional 1/3, 2/3 split along the radiating element. So I'm going to start with a 21 metre length, so this is the short leg at 1/3, 7 metres long. And this is the inside of the DX50 wire showing the Kevlar core. And to ensure consistency when I'm trimming and tuning, I've used a 9cm fold back on each end of the dipole with an overhand nut and a cable tie to hold it in place. Now I forgot, but remember to pass the wire through the thimbles on the centerpiece before you connect the end insulators, and here you can see the terminations with the tabs and also the wires being held on the thimbles with cable ties. So I've got the new dipole up in the air, and now for some testing. So here's the first test with the full 21 metres, and with dipoles it's better to be too long than too short. You can always take stuff off, but here we are on the 40 metre band, 7.1, and the dip is down there, about there, 6.8. So we need to shorten it, and if I go to 20 metre band, there's the dip, so that's below 20 metres as well. So we need to get this in band, and hopefully the other bands will take care of themselves. So we need to take some off. So here we are with the trimmed version. I've taken 60 centimetres off in total. So 1/3, 2/3 split, that's 40 centimetres off the long end and 20 off the short end. So here 6.8 is where we were. The dip's now 7. The dip's 7. 40 is a bit more forgiving, so if I'll move up the band there, So at 1.5 in band. But if we go on to 20 meters, they're 14.2, and the other bands will need a tuner, so 17 meters, 15 meters, 12 meters. If I go to 10 meters, I've passed through 6 on the way, 50.8, but using a HF antenna on 6 meters isn't really the best. So down onto 10, there, 28.8. So I might leave it with that. I'll connect it up with the rig and see what the plots look like. So I've always found the rig a bit more forgiving than the MFD analyzer. This is the 40 meter plot of the original antenna without the tuner engaged, and this is the SWR plot on 40 with a new antenna. You can see it's much lower. 1.5 is that green line across the bottom of there, so much better result there. You can see the dip. And again, this is the SWR plot of the original antenna on 20 meters. You can see without a tuner it's just bouncing around above 1.5. And now the SWR plot of the new antenna, again no tuner engaged. You can see it's rock bottom right across 20. And this is the original antenna on 10. Nice low pattern across 10 meters. So I was happy with that, but we'll see what the new antenna does. And this is the new antenna. More of a obvious curve on this one, but happy with that. 1.5 at the edges, which I can bring in with a tuner. And I didn't have a plot of the original antenna on 6, but for interest this is what the new one looks like. So a good low SWR across 6 meters, but like I said before, you can make contacts, but not the ideal antenna for 6 meters, which is VHF. And in terms of the bands which you'll need tuners, this is 30 meters. I think this was with the tuner engaged. I'm not quite sure, but I'll try this is the old antenna, I'll try the new one. Yeah, so this is the new antenna on 30 without the tuner engaged. You can see the SWR is very high. The tuner will bring that in, I think, but we can try. I'll just see what the other bands are like. So this is 17 meters on the old antenna, and I'll do a plot for the new one. You can see it's above 3 right across. So new antenna virtually identical, just above 3, which I'll get in with the tuner. And on the old antenna, 15 meters, just above 3, right across the band. The new antenna virtually identical, bit better, 3 at points. Again, that'll tune in, the old one did. That'll be fine. So just 12 meters left. So remember where 3 is on that line. 12 meters look like this, just hovering below 3 SWR on the old antenna. And now just below 3, so a little bit better but virtually the same, just below 3 on the new antenna. So in terms of the bands that weren't resonant, here we are on 17 meters. We're on a quiet frequency. You can see the FT8 frequency on 18100. You can see the propagation dropping as well since I've left it on this band. So if you remember, this was just above 3 is an SWR across the band. This is a quiet frequency, so if I engage the tuner, you can see it doing its thing. It's not the fastest tuner on the 5000, but it is a good one. Right, so we're on power output on the meter, we're running 200 watts. See on the meter there, 200. And SWR nice and low. So I just need to store the tuner in memory, which it will do now, but I need to move around the band, get them stored, and then that's the whole band in memory. So we'll just take a look at the other bands as well. So here we are on 15 meters, some activity you can see on the scope at the top, and if you remember, 15 was generally a 3 flat right across. So again, tune up on 15. This is only putting out about 5 watts to tune up. And we're tuned up. So again, if you look at the meter, we're on 200 watts. That's the SWR, rock bottom. There's 200. So 15 metres is fine as well. So if you remember, the worst band was 30 metres in terms of SWR. Here we're above 3. Not a band I use, well, not very often anyway. So here we go, 10125, and if we tune up, and key up, it's quiet frequency. So this is a SWR summary table of the original antenna on the left that I had some common mode current issues with. So I added the choke, which is the middle column, and that's the antenna I've used for nearly 3 years. And then the new one is on the right. Colour coding, SWR 1.5 below is green, 1.62, just under 3 is amber, and then 3 and above is red. And the amber and the red I've successfully used the tuner for. So you can see there, new antenna, 40 metres, better performance, 30 worse than the one with the choke I've been using. 20, about the same, and then you can see the mid bands that need tuning, and then we've got 10 and 6. Like I say, 6 you probably wouldn't use a 40 metre off centre for dipole for 6. So positioning of the antenna, height above ground, nearby objects like the roof and so on, obviously affect performance. So these are measurements particular to my setup. But as you can see, very happy with the right hand column. So lots of liquid rubber applied at all the connection points and the bare wires. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just needs to be effective, and once it's high in the sky, no one will know. My original intention was to remove this 1-to-1 choke from the feed line. This is for the original antenna. It eliminated some common mode currents I was experiencing on the feed line. If you've seen Peter's videos on the new 1-to-1 choke balun, you'll notice it's got over 30 dB rejection of common mode currents at HF frequency, so I don't need this one now, but I'm just leaving it in line now. There's no detrimental effect, and I'll remove it at some point, I'm sure. Golf 0 Charlie November November.
I think it's Golf 0 Charlie November November. I'm having a little bit of a problem here at the moment with your Mary. Hopefully we can make it okay. I'm in Toronto. Toronto is the location. And let me give you a report on the next over. As I mentioned, I'm having a bit of a problem with Cure Mexico at the moment. So let's try that. Germany 0 Charlie Nancy Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha.
Golf 0 Charlie November November. Yes, Roger, Gunter, all copied. Understand the QRM. Name is Ian at this end. India Alpha November Ian, and I'm in the northeast of the UK. Just trying out an antenna for the first time, and you're the first contact, Gunter. So keen for a signal report, but appreciate you got QRM. Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha, Golf 0 Charlie November November.
Okay, Ian, no problems. You're in the clear at the moment. No Cure Mexico. And you report with a little bit of Cure Spaker, Ian. I know you're trying out the new antenna. There is a bit of Cure Spaker on the signal, but it averages out at 58, Ian. 58. So I do see a number of antenna systems here on your photo, so I'm not quite sure what it is you're playing with, but we'll find out in a moment. Whatever you did there, it is working.
0 CNN, yeah, thanks for the 5.8. You're 5.9 with me, and I've upgraded my off-centre fed dipole today. It's a new design and seems to be working well, but sod's law, just as I've finished and had tea, it's dark now, 20 is closing down, and it's full of RTTY stations for the RTTY contest, but you're the main station calling, so I thought I'd give it a try, but it's fine on 20. It's a 40 metre dipole off centre fed, so it's fine on 20. I need to try 40 next and work my way around the bands, Gunter. Victor Alpha 3 Golf Alpha, Golf 0 Charlie November November.
Yeah, well, it
200 Gunter, 200 from an FTDX 5000 MP Limited, Roger.
Oh, very nice radio indeed.
Well, the 4-element Yagi and the kilowatt. I think you're doing all the heavy lifting, Gunter. So I'm sure there'll be other stations wanting to work Canada. But Best 73's Gunter, nice to get you in the log for the first time, and I'm sure we'll bump into each other again.
The conditions are really, it's funny, you tested a brand new antenna under the conditions. Tonight, there's a storm right in the middle of France, or southern France, and it's blasting us with static from all the lightning, I guess. I guess, though, that antenna seems to be working better than good. Over. Charlie X-Ray, Radio Tango. Thank you very much, and sorry. Thank you.
Golf 0 Charlie November November.
Question, Charlie, please. Charlie.
Golf 0 Charlie November November.
My frenético, please. Recuerde que el Golf 0, Charlie, question.
Charlie November November. Canada Norway Norway QSL.
Okay. Ian, hello, Ian. Thank you very much. Ian, Golf 0, Charlie.
Yeah, Roger Juan, nice to work you again. Your lovely 5.9 here, 5.9. I'm using a new antenna, just trying it out, Roger.
Okay, thank you. Your signal report is moment 27, 67 for moment 58.
73 Juan, bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Golf 0 Charlie November November. Golf 0 Charlie November November. Yeah, Roger Mike, I'm just missing the end of your call. I've got Kilo Alpha 5, but can you just repeat the suffix slowly, please, Roger? Yeah, Roger Mike, Kilo Alpha 5, Papa November X-Ray Golf 0 Charlie November November. Name's Ian Mike, you're about a 4 and 3 with me, 4 and 3. Just trying out a new antenna on 15. This is a first opportunity, so off centre fed dipole, just trying it on 15, Mike, Roger. Yeah, 73's Mike, nice to work you. 73's, bye-bye. Well, you seem to like that video because you got right to the very end, so thanks for that, it's much appreciated. If you like this one, then you'll probably like others on the channel, so please consider subscribing.